Well, hello everybody, welcome back to our Valheim series. Okay, so tonight, starting off today's episode, we are going to do the last thing on our list. Oh, I just heard a little thing coming outside, little chirp. Yes, there it is, in the corner. We have a baby chick. Hooray! We finally have 2 chickens. We can finally start getting some eggs, even though we should have got them about 10 episodes ago. Right. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to have a quick look at what we've got available in terms of meads. In our previous episode, I only checked about the first 4 or 5 items on the list, so I'm just checking what else we've got available. We've got a couple of interesting ones here. We've got Lightfoot, which increases our jump radius or our jump height and decreases jump stamina usage, which seems like it's pretty much engineered specifically for the Mistlands. And then we've also got a Lingering Stamina, which seems to be the stamina mead that I've been kind of wanting, really, which is a higher stamina regen for over a period of time. Hopefully it's quite a long period of time. I'm not going to make any right now, because it's going to take too long for us to make them. It takes a couple of in-game days, and obviously I don't want to have to sit around for the next hour waiting for these. So what we are doing in today's episode is our last item on the list, which is we need to go hunt for the Bog Witch. And I know at the end of my last episode I did say, or towards the end of our last episode, I did say that I was thinking about just cutting out the exploration part of it and then having this episode start with me finding the Bog Witch, but I've decided against doing that because I'm really not happy or really against kind of just cutting out sections of gameplay, especially if it was going to be like a couple of hours. So what I've decided to do is something a little bit different, which is, instead of just sailing around in a boat and hoping that we magically come across a marker or an icon on the map that shows us where the boss is, what we're going to do is we're actually going to spend most of our time exploring on land, which is why I have popped over to the boss stones and I've swapped over to the Eikthyr boss buff, which should give us 60% decreased stamina usage for sprinting and jumping, which is really, really useful for 5 minutes. So the plan is that we have a few different locations on the map that we can easily jump to with portals. I'm just going to pop into Mist Base as well. What is that wolf doing? His head's sticking out the door. Must have a little doggy flap. So what we're going to do is we're going to check out the map and look at all the different areas that we have portals that we can jump to. And what we're going to do as well, what we're doing with that is that we're looking for somewhere that we can go to, like take a portal there, take the boat with us, and set sail from there. And I'm basically looking for indicators of islands and stuff that we've sailed past or been near that have swamp on them, and then we're going to go up to those islands and we'll jump off at the swamp and we'll just run around and explore, see if we can find the Bog Witch, and then if not, we'll head back to the boat and head to the next area. Again, in our previous episode, I did highlight a couple of areas where I thought, where I could see some swamp biomes kind of sticking out on the edge of the coast. So, yeah, we've got a couple of different places to go to. I want to check those first because those are the quickest and easiest to get to. And then if we are unlucky enough to not find her, we will then just have to do the usual of sailing to different islands and exploring around. So instead of this just being like a half an hour long episode or an hour long episode of me just sitting on a boat staring at a coastline, I am going to intersperse it with jumping off the boat and running around and exploring. Now obviously, as I have said in previous episodes, you don't have to be that close to a merchant for the icon on the map to spawn. So once we've found her, we'll definitely know, and we don't have to be that close in order to spot the marker on the minimap, so it won't be that difficult. And we won't have to, being on land won't really make a huge amount of difference unless we find an absolutely massive swamp biome and she's right at the dead centre of it. But I just kind of want to do it a bit differently and see what we can find. Plus, we haven't really been on land in some of the older biomes for a while, so it'd be nice to have a bit of a run around the swamp. It certainly is a bit of a challenge as well, given the amount of water and stuff like that. So yeah, that is our plan. Now, what I've just been doing for the start is I've just been dumping a few things in different locations. I've been emptying out our inventory. I've dropped up a few things that I don't really need. So I've dropped like my bow, my arrows, stuff like that. Don't really need them. Pickaxe. Obviously your carry weight or your inventory weight isn't tied to your speed or anything like that, so if you're nearly max capacity you're not going to run or move slower, but it's more just in case. It's more having the available slots, because we could also use that, or use this opportunity to gather a few things that we haven't got much of, so we can just kind of top up our stocks on those things. In our last episode, we did kind of set sail from here, this location, the swamp location, but we didn't have any luck. I didn't really sail that far out, to be fair, and I think we had to turn around and come back because I forgot the portal, which was very silly. But I think this might be a bit too close to our home base in order to spawn enough swamp biomes. I think we're just going to see the majority of it as being black forest, so I want to go a bit further out. Now I have looked this up, which is I've looked up some more specifics on how to find the bog witch. So I haven't used our world seed. So I remember in our last episode I might have confused a few people because I said that I looked it up and said that I didn't want to look it up in the same sentence, which was kind of silly, really. I remember watching it back after I'd uploaded it thinking that was a glaring error that I should have spotted. I'm going to have to do a bit better in my QA in future. So yeah, what I meant when I said that was that I'd looked it up in terms of how to find the bog witch. I basically just went to Google and googled finding the bog witch in Valheim or something like that, and I read a couple of Reddit posts. I had a look at a couple of websites that had some advice on there, and that was where I got my information from, which was that you've got at least per world you have about 10 different spawning locations for the bog witch. In order to get her to spawn, you have to be near one of those spawning locations. If it's a world that you've already been playing before the update, she won't spawn on existing uncovered swamp. You have to go to covered ones. So if you can see the kind of whitish brown covered parts of the map where we haven't explored, that is where she will spawn. All the uncovered stuff she can't spawn on. And yeah, obviously there is an option to kind of cheat if we wanted to. It's not really cheating, but it kind of is a little bit. You can use your world seed, and there are certain websites that are set up where you can enter your world seed, and it will basically just give you a map of your world, completely uncovered, and with all the icons and indicators for boss markers, for swamp witches and merchants, all that kind of stuff. So you can basically just, it's not really cheating, it's just kind of skipping in a way, but some people do see it as cheating. I have used it in the past, I will be honest. I've had previous worlds where I've tried to find a merchant and it's just taken me absolutely forever, and I've gotten bored of sailing around in circles trying to find him, so I usually just enter the world seed into these map generators and see where he is, or see where his potential spawning locations are. But I don't really want to do it on this playthrough, so we're going to skip that. Oh, there's a boar. What do you want? I want a neck too. You're a 1-star. I'll give us a couple of tails. Not that we really need them, but we're going to have to pick them up anyway. Come here, Mr. Boar. There we go. Right, crafting table. So yeah, the information I uncovered for finding the bog witch is that she can spawn anywhere between like the second third of the world. So let's just you have a look at the world map, and let's say you were to split the world into 3 segments, so 1/3 of each world. She's most likely going to spawn in the second third, so that middle section. I know it's kind of awkward without having a map to showcase to you. I failed that jump so hard. There we go. So yeah, she doesn't spawn that close, but she also doesn't spawn that far away either. Honestly, at this stage of a playthrough, like, this is why I'm quite lucky in this aspect, is that at this stage of the playthrough we have uncovered quite a few different islands and quite a few different areas that we can go to search for these things. Like right here, there looks to be quite a big swamp biome on the map. So we're going to head up that way and check out there first, and then I'm pretty sure there's another big swamp biome that's right by that one as well on a different island, so we'll just sail over to that one too. So it's not like we're lacking any options to go and find her, it's just that we've got to do the awkward part of exploring to find it. But then again, this is an exploration kind of survival open world game, so that is the whole point of the game. And again, another one of the reasons why I didn't want to cut it out of the playthrough. Right, heading over to this island. The area that I've set off from is the Clothier. You will have seen, obviously, I jumped through to the portal and ran to the coastline, didn't go onto the plains. I could have gone to Plains Base, but I really didn't feel like fighting any of the plains creatures right now, especially considering that with this exploration, you can tell that I'm eating food that gives me more stamina and less health, so I've only got 125 max health currently. I'm also not wearing a chest piece and leggings in terms of armour. because those both have a negative 5% movement speed debuff on them for the fact that you're wearing heavy armor. So yeah, I usually take those off when I want to explore on foot for a while in lower level zones. I have still kept my sword on board, my sword and shield, so we can obviously handle combat should we need to. I'm pretty confident in fighting every creature in the game that we've already seen, so I'm not worried that much. Obviously the main thing we need to pay attention to is not getting overwhelmed if we get swarmed by them, because not having chest and legs can still be very dangerous in places like the swamp and the plains. Honestly, I don't think it'll take us too long to find the Bog Witch. I think we'll find her pretty quickly. Again, just because I have a few different places that I can go to. I think we'll be quite fortunate, or at least I'm hoping we will. I've got my fingers crossed. So, fingers crossed we will find her pretty quickly. And that it isn't going to be the next 5 or 10 episodes, and I still haven't gone back to the Mistlands because we're trying to find the Bog Witch. And awkwardly enough, it is misty in the plains, so we've got limited vision in front of us. What is this? It's Black Forest biome in front of us, so we don't really want to stop here. I know there's swamp up ahead. Well, I will be honest though, there is a small part of me that kind of wished that we'd brought the bigger boat, but we left that one at the Mistlands. Although a part of me is wishing that we kind of had brought it with us. I think it would be a bit quicker to sail with with our older boat or our bigger boat. Well, this one is pretty good. I still like the carve. It is a good kind of... It's a really good upgrade from the raft. I think I have been quite fortunate on a lot of my Valheim playthroughs that I really haven't had to use a raft that much. Apologies if you can hear that plane going overhead. It's quite rumbly. But yeah, I've never really had to use the raft that much. I have in like my first couple of experiences playing Valheim, but I think I would imagine that a lot of Valheim players probably agree with me on this, which is that once you've used a raft on your first like couple of playthroughs, and you've used it quite a lot, and you've kind of gotten a bit sick of like how not difficult, but how slow they are. You start prioritizing gathering materials to build the carve straight away and try and avoid using the raft as much as possible. At least I do anyway. But we did use it a little bit. So I did get mistaken as well. I've just realised that the swamp biome is on the island to the west of us, which we're heading to right now. You can see the trees in front of us. There is another swamp biome on the coast of the island that we were just sailing next to, but it's a lot further up. So this is the first place I want to go. And yeah, basically I'm just going to sail right up to it and jump off. Oh, what is that? That looks like a building. Could that be the Swamp Witch? I'm pretty sure if we were this close to her, her marker would have spawned. Let's get closer and have a look, shall we? It looks like one of those randomly generated, like, smaller wooden houses that you can get in the swamp. Try and drop the boat off somewhere that's not quite near the edge as well, where it's quite open, so that we don't have a difficult time taking off when we get back. Because obviously with me avoiding the majority of combat, or trying to avoid the majority of combat, oh, there's a few leeches already, I don't want to get swarmed as I'm trying to get back to the boat. Oh, hello Grey Dwarfs. I'm not interested in fighting you right now. Oh, there's a bed inside this building. Oh, that was a hole. Oh, I'm glad I saw that. Wow. It wouldn't have done a huge amount of damage, but we could have fallen through that. Right, so popping Ike there, and let's just go exploring. Here's one of the swamp crypts. I am mainly focused on what's in front of me as I'm running around, but I am also keeping one eye on the mini-map in the top corner, just so that if she does spawn and we don't notice it straight away, if I keep checking the minimap, we'll notice the marker will appear on there before we actually see it on the screen, so we should spot it as we get closer. I'm really quite interested to find the Bog Witch. She's got, I'm hoping she's got quite a few new things for us to buy. Oh, hello gents. You look like you're preparing on the edge for some kind of battle, but I'm going to put the stop to that. There we go. Well, that was pretty cool. We killed... There were 3 Grey Dwarfs and we killed 1 with each swing. Oh, this looks like planes. Yep, there's a fulling over there with a torch. Let's avoid that. I don't want to get your attention. Let's try and go through here. Yeah, perfect. Oh, hello, Draugr. Oh, we'll have none of that, thank you. Oh, stay away from the slime. Oh, there's 2 of them. The blobs. Don't want to get poisoned. Oh, honestly, this is really nice. The combination of a massive stamina bar and the Eikthyr buff is really nice. It just makes traversing an area so quick. Quick and easy, especially considering we are looking for one specific thing rather than just general exploration. So it makes life a bit easier for us. Should cut down on the amount of time that we have to spend running around and letting stamina recharge and stuff like that. Especially in the swamp. It's a pain in the swamp just because you constantly have the wet debuff. I don't think you can avoid having the wet debuff in the swamp unless of course you go into one of those crypts. But then as soon as you step outside you get wet again, because I'm pretty certain it's always raining in the swamp. I don't think I've ever... Oh, Jesus! That scared the Jesus out of me. Wow. That was a jump scare and a half. My heart is pounding. Jeez. I saw the foot come up out of the floor and I thought it was a big, like, vine or something that was going to smash us. Wow, that scared the heck out of me. I didn't realise Valheim was a horror game. Don't really want to fight one of those right now. Don't really need to, so we're just going to avoid it. We've still got plenty of the bits and pieces of root. I think it's root armor that we can make. But we don't need it because we're not doing a ranged build. What is this? Oh, it's a boat. It's one of the prefabricated or the pre-generated like boat corpses that you can cut down and give you fine wood. Just noticed we've got a couple of Draugr on our tail. Sadly, they can't move as fast as we can, or they don't have as much stamina. So we're just going to quickly and easily outrun those. Okay, I think this swamp biome, unless there's another larger area up here, which it doesn't look like there is, it kind of looks like there's another coast in front of us. I'm pretty sure she's not here. Just gonna slow run for a little bit to recharge some stamina. Another crypt. Oh, there's another one off in the distance as well, so this island has a few crypts on it. Now, obviously I'm not marking these crypts because they're not of importance to us anymore, although it is nice to have options available if we do need a large amount of iron in the future. We can always just sail to one of these islands and we've got plenty of crypts available, but pretty much every swamp biome will have that as well, so it's not like we don't desperately need to do it. We can pretty much just sail to any swamp island that we haven't got markers on, and they'll all have crypts on them. So we're pretty safe in the iron option. But I don't think we'll even need to do that anymore. I think we're pretty much done in swamp crypts, just because of the... Oh wow, that is a lot of leeches, and there's a 1-star in there as well. And there's a couple of Draugr as well attacking the boat underneath it. Yeah, so with the ancient weapons in the Mistlands, we really don't need to worry about going into these swamp crypts anymore, because I think iron is the only like main thing that you need from there. But if the Bog Witch does have a lot of new items to buy... Oh, hello, that's a blob. If the Bog Witch does have a lot of new items to buy, and if some of them are quite expensive, we are going to need a way of generating cash. Some dollar, some coins, some gold. So, yeah, we're going to have to do that. Although, part of me is thinking... What we've got left? We've got nearly 500 coins left at home, and we've got about a stack of 15 to 20 rubies and a stack of about 13 or 15 pearls, which should be okay in terms of money-wise. That'll probably give us a few hundred more. And yeah, it really just depends on the cost of the items that she sells. There's actually two important things that I want to get from her. One of them not so important, but I still want to have a look at it just to see what it's like. But the other one is very important. One of them is I believe it's called a scythe handle or something like that. So with the scythe handle, she sells this item, and with this item we'll be able to craft a scythe, which will then allow us to basically farm in an area when it comes to our garden or when it comes to the flax and the barley that we have in the plains. I'm not sure if it also works out in the wild when it comes to, say, gathering stuff like cloudberries and raspberries and mushrooms and stuff like that. We'll have to test these functions out, so I'll probably build one and take it with me for a few episodes. Just see what we can see with it. So that's like that's the most important one that we need, especially considering that we want to gather some more onions for salad recipes in the future. And also for barley, because I believe that there are a couple of Mistlands food recipes that do actually need barley flour. We haven't unlocked them yet, but I'm pretty sure we do. I'm imagining it would be something to do with chicken. Maybe we're going to make some fried chicken. That'd be pretty cool. Crispy fried chicken, yes please. Well, this is quite a cool area. It's supposed to be swamp, but it's kind of spawned right on the edge. So it's obviously got this body of water, but it's also got the meadows on the other side, so you've got a few like swamp trees and creatures and stuff right on the border of the meadows. That looks pretty awesome. I kind of like the melding of the two biomes together. Oh, what was that? That was a blob. It's attacking meadows creatures. And yes, the other item, I did mention this in the Bogwitch update video, but I haven't mentioned it recently. The other item, which isn't really useful for us, I believe it's called a feast serving tray. It might just be called a serving tray. So basically this is another multiplayer specific item. So it's a feast thing. So I believe if you cook a meal, say like, I don't know, some like cooked lox pie or baked lox pie or something like that, and I believe if you place it on this serving tray and then place that tray on a table or a surface or on the floor, I believe if you're, say, like in a group of 2 or 3 people, I believe all 3 of you can eat that and all get the buff from it. But don't take that analysis as being 100% true. This is something I'll have to test. It might be that maybe it'll have like servings, so you'll have to, if you want 3 people to eat from it, you'll have to have 3 portions of it on there or something. I don't know. I don't know if it lets you use one like meal to serve 3 people. I mean, when you look at the lox pie picture, it's a pretty big bloody pie, so I would imagine that you could serve several people with it. But yeah, it's not something I've looked at specifically because it is for multiplayer. Like, we're not going to be using it ourselves. The only time I'm really going to use it is after I've bought it, so I can just showcase it in the playthrough and just have one. We'll probably have it as more of a decorative thing in our main like comfort room. But yeah, I'm not interested in using it out in the world because we don't have other people with us. Not for this playthrough, at least. That's not to say that, say, maybe in the future when they decide to get close to a 1.0 release, because I believe that Valheim is still considered early access, I'm pretty sure, because they're still developing parts of it. I'm pretty sure that's true. So yeah, you never know that sometimes in the future I might have another playthrough happen, but it might be a multiplayer one. Maybe I'll get together with other Valheim YouTubers and we'll do a big multiplayer world or something. I don't really know. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, so that serving tray is a multiplayer item, so I'll buy it, I'll showcase it, but I won't keep it. Well, I won't use it. Okay, so we've made it up to this swamp biome on the island to the east that we were originally sailing up at the start of the episode. I haven't had much fortune in terms of finding the Bogwitch yet. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's one of these things. There'll be like a circular staircase that goes down here. Oh, Jesus, there's 2 draw elites in there. Right, okay, I'm going to avoid those. Don't want to fight you gents right now, thank you. They did that kind of like scream that they do, and it kind of made me jump a little bit there. I don't know why I'm so jumpy today. Getting jump scares from Valheim of all games, and in a lower level biome as well. That's really not a challenge to me, but I'm still getting jump scared. that might be something I also do in future as well. Play a few scary games. I'm not really a fan of big scary games like atmospheric ones. There's been some that I've played in the past and enjoyed, but I've enjoyed them for the story, not for the actual like jump scare elements and stuff like that. So like Alien Isolation, I love the story of Isolation. I just couldn't really care that much for the jump scare sides of it. Despite the fact that I think the AI for the alien, the monsters' behaviour and AI and patterns and stuff was absolutely brilliant. Whoever deserved that, whoever made that deserves like a raise, or more than a raise, deserves some kind of award for that. It was fantastic. I mean, to be fair, they probably won them. It wouldn't surprise me if they won an award for that. Ooh, what is this? Oh, I think I know what this is. This is one of the kind of broken down swamp towers. That little red stone there is a boss stone. It's a boss way stone or a boss rune stone. We don't need it, but if we were to activate that, it would give us the location of the nearest bone mass boss, like, summoning thing. My guess would be that it would indicate the one that we've already done, but maybe there's another one closer. But yeah, we don't need that. We're just going to ignore it. I kind of like them though. I like the kind of randomly generated, like, empty buildings and stuff. It gives a bit more character to the biomes. There's been too many games in the past where certain biomes just look empty and dead. I don't want to spend too long talking about it, but it's one of my biggest issues with DayZ. Oh, Jesus! Wow! Where did he come from? He just spawned in my face. Jesus Christ! I can't outrun a troll. Those footsteps are freaking me the F out. Sorry, that was close to swearing. Although I have sworn in the past. Well, we're just going to fight him. Absolutely scared the crap out of me, that did. My heart is pounding right now. Oh god, he hit me. That's not good. I don't have armour on. We need to not fail at that. There we go. Oh, the bloody log is blocking me. Why do I take damage from falling logs, but you don't? Well, to be fair, he's literally using a log as a weapon. Oh, he's fighting something else. Oh, now an army of Grey Dwarfs is getting involved. Of course you are. Who is he fighting? Oh, he's fighting a blob. I just saw the kind of squidgy green icon or creature. There we go. Took him down. Grey Dwarf Shaman. Hello, come here, you. Don't you poison me. Take on that Grey Dwarf. I am going to pick up the loot. I'm going to drop some of it in the ocean as we're sailing around because we don't need it, like the stone and the head and the stuff like that. But Grey Dwarf Eyes we do need for. I'm guessing some future recipes will use them, but we're also going to need them for portals. So I am killing a few Grey Dwarfs every now and then. But yeah, anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted by a massive troll jump scare, I literally did not hear or see him coming. I just looked up and just pooped my pants. Actually, I'm going to pop the portal down and head home. It's too dark. That was very difficult to see what was going on there. And I want to sleep through the night. And we're also running out of food buff and stuff, so we'll go back and do a quick repair and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted by that troll, worlds, like big worlds and games, kind of like these like survival games, kind of there's a few of them that I really like the concept and the idea of them, but some of them just seem so empty, and DayZ is one of those games. I love the idea of DayZ, and don't get me wrong, I understand that, I know it's in standalone now, but I know that for the majority of DayZ's like creation and life, it's been an add-on to, was it Arma 2 or Arma 3? How's the chickens doing? They're doing okay. Yeah, so it's you know, it's been in development for quite a while, and it took them a long time to get into like the standalone version. Even then, it's still, you know, like I've played it. I can't remember how long ago I played it. A couple of years, I think, and it just feels like an empty world. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be like, "Don't be silly. It's supposed to be an empty world. It's a zombie apocalypse." And whilst I understand that, it's also the fact that it doesn't matter what town or village you go to. A lot of the buildings are exactly the same as each other. The layout is the same. The rooms are the same. 90% of the time you walk into buildings, there's just nothing in there. But there might be a few things like, oh, there's a table and a chair, or there's one of those like log burners for cooking or something like that. But you can't really use them. I think they've recently put, well, I say recently, I think they put in a way that you can actually interact with those log burners and stuff now, but yeah, it's just, the worlds just feel empty, because there's just not much in there. And, you know, it's just, for a solo player, DayZ is just not a great game, I'll be honest with you. But which is one of the reasons why I really, really love what they've done in Valheim, which is that in a lot of these biomes, not just the fact that there's different enemies and enemy types and biomes and things you can collect and all that kind of stuff, but also the randomly generated like buildings, like prefabricated stuff, and you know, that just add like certain things like the broken down swamp tower, the kind of the tiny little like chicken coops and stuff that you can find in the meadows and stuff like that. Every biome has got something different, and I just think it's fantastic. I love it. I think it's great. Right, now that we've gotten away from this island, there's another swamp biome up there which I kind of want to check. I'm probably going to sail up there. I am going to call the episode here, actually, just before we set off, because it's been about half an hour and I don't want the episodes to run too long. So yeah, I will call this episode here. Thank you everybody for watching. I certainly hope you've all enjoyed this one. We are getting close to finding her. I think it won't be too much longer before we find the Bog Witch. We've been to a couple of different biomes, been a bit unsuccessful, but I really hope that we find her very soon. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. I will catch you in the next episode. Bye everybody.